YouTubers, fellow YouTube brethren. So this afternoon, thought I'd grab the opportunity while I can to get the power commander installed on 750. So just a shout out to Glenn at Vanguard Motorsport for the for doing a good deal on the power commander. Yeah, obviously decided to go with this after all, as basically I can put it on and take it off as and when should I need to. If I decide to change the bike anytime, not that I'm planning to, but at least then it can be removed and get some money back on it. Additionally to that, of course, as well, like I've said before, the installation, the tuning, even the tuning can get done on the doorstep, literally 20 minutes away from where I live. So bit of a no-brainer, really. So yeah, so power commander inbound. It's already preloaded with an open pipe map and filter. It'll be a starter for 10, but I'll be getting it tuned to the bike anyway, regardless. Yeah, I mean, power gains, be good to see 5 brake horsepower or so, if that. 7 horsepower, maybe something like that. I guess I'm being a bit ambitious, but anything in that realm would be great. Ultimately, not as much as probably an ECU flash, but again, that's also a 3-hour drive from where I am. So yeah, I can live with 2 or 3 horsepower deficit on the road. You're not going to notice it anyway. So there we go. Not much else has happened with the bike since. Obviously, I've got the new GoPro, so that's now in use. Hopefully, the last video shows that hopefully the audio quality is now sorted. Although there was a bit of an issue with that, with the I think it was loose connection. It was clipping a little bit, so either loose connection or maybe the audio and the microphone is now too close, so it's too much for the onboard gain of the software. So fingers crossed that's sorted. Anyway, so power commander installation, here we come. Let's do this. Okay, so power commander installation. We need to get the seat off. We need to get the tank up. We need to get the tank up. Get access to the injectors underneath the fuel tank. So first thing we'll do is we'll take out these bolts here, either side of the seat. Get access to the screws for the seat itself, and then we'll whip that off. Okay, so that's the seat off. That's the pillion cover removed. The power commander has to sit in here. Obviously connects to the battery, and obviously connectors through to the injectors underneath the tank. So next up is we'll take off the side panels, take off this cover here, and we'll get access to the fuel tank bolts underneath the ignition barrel cover there, and we'll get the tank lifted. So first up, we'll take that little grommet out of there, and we'll take this panel off here, and we'll get access to the bolts. So this literally just pulls away from here like that, and then there's a little clip underneath the back there. That should just pop off. There we go, just like that. Clips. Right then, so that's the other side off, but just to show it on this side. So if you pull with this, obviously making sure this grommet's out here, you can just see once this bolt here is removed, then you can just get your fingers underneath here, and then here, if you give it a wiggle, it should just come away from there. So there's a little stud there, and that's it, pretty much, holding that on. Apart from the little grommets down behind the radiator there, which you can just about see. If we just take that, not easy one-handed. There we go. Give that a wiggle, and off it comes. And then we'll take the bolt out here. We'll take that off, and we can get we'll get the tank cover off, and we'll get the tank lifted. So tank cover removed. Literally just stick your finger underneath each side here, and just give it a lift up, and then it just pops up, no problem at all. You do find there's little hook and loop connectors here and here. That one's actually come off the tank, yeah, that cover should pop up nicely. And then just to remove the ignition barrel cover, you just pulls up underneath the two little tabs there, and you can just move that out of the way, and then just like that, and get access to the bolts here for the fuel tank. Take those out and lift it up. Right, well that's the wiring run. So that's the power commander unit itself in the tail section, with the cable run down underneath behind the battery, down the side of the battery, down left hand side of the bike, underneath negotiating the obviously the bolt for the fuel tank, down the side here, and then basically the instructions say to run the wire in so that it's orange. The orange wires start from cylinder 1. So this is cylinder 1 here. So that's the orangey wires going into there. So that's orange with white, or white with orange, I should say. And then the other orange there. And then the next one is cylinder 2, which you can't really see too well in there. But basically goes orange wires, yellow, green, and then blue. Just as per the instructions. And then we'll have a look quick round the other side. So you can see in there, actually cylinder 3 was quite easy to get to. This one was quite tricky, only because I'm right-handed. But as you can see there, that's the last one. Then the blue wires go to cylinder 4, white with blue, and blue as well, obviously. And then this last one here goes to the throttle position sensor. So the throttle position sensor is actually down there. It's so hard to see. Throttle position sensor connector is there. There it is there. You can just see it underneath, nestled underneath there. Not easy to get to. So there we go. So that's the throttle position connector removed eventually. Quite tricky to get to. Differs slightly from the instructions, but you can tell it is because it's a 3-pin connector, and as per the instructions, that is the pink and black, red, and black with brown connector. So it's just a case of sticking these connectors onto there, and then we'll plug it in the power supply, and we'll see if she runs. Right, there's a little stud in there. So that's it reconnected, but I hope you could with your fingers and you're not getting any complaints at home, because that is shockingly difficult to get to. Can't get the camera focus quite well on there. There we go. So that's really hard to get to. So the longer your fingers are, and the better your dexterity, the better. But anyway, that's it. That's it on. We'll just tidy up the wires underneath the tank, and we'll look at putting some power on it. So with that done, the next job is to find the O2 sensor, which runs up the side of the bike here. That's the cable. That's the cable there. Yeah, can't see very well. There it is there. And then it comes up through this clump of wires inside, and then it's that black connector there. This is a 2019 750. So that's the black connector there, and then this little gadget, which is the O2 eliminator. That just plugs in line between the O2 sensor and the main harness. So that's it. That's it done. Right, let's see if this works. So this is a standard test. Having known that I was going to have to start this, I haven't done anything with this yet so far. I'll just put that back on there. Otherwise it won't start without the immobiliser on. So we'll give it a go. Well, that works okay, so we'll rebuild it. That's it then. all back together. So all panels back on and paintwork all detailed with the matte detailer, and yeah, all connected up. I ended up putting the O2 sensor underneath the tank. Actually, with one of the Velcro strips that's supplied, actually ended up sticking it underneath the tank because there wasn't really anywhere for the little box of tricks to sit. So actually, rather than tar wrap it onto some of the pipework and stuff underneath the tank, which you could have done, I actually stuck it to the bottom of the tank, so it's up out of the way. Yeah, so that should be okay up underneath there. Obviously you're supposed to stick this down inside the tail unit, but to be honest, there's not anywhere really to stick it unless you make a bracket. Get a flat piece of metal or something and space it off there, and you could stick it down. I might be able to stick it underneath down in there, but even there, there's no real flat surfaces to stick it onto. So yeah, you could maybe stick it on the frame, the subframe rail there, maybe. But yeah, I think that'll probably be okay in there, like that. So you can get access to it to tune it as well, obviously, once it's on the dyno. So I'll probably leave it like that for the time being. Stick something underneath it, just a rag, just to stop it from bouncing around. But that's it, all done and dusted. So yeah, next up we'll go for a test ride, and we'll see if it's any good. And then after that, it'll be on the dyno to get a custom tune. So let's go and throw some gear on and go for a run.